Recent comments from Manchester United boss further demonstrates inept nature of Solskjaer. Manchester United have been pretty poor in every competition they have played in this term. To try and combat the clear decline, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has recently used a 3-5-2 over his preferred 4-2-3-1 on a number of occasions. This worked against Tottenham, but you could argue that the change to a 3-5-2 was not the driving factor behind their win over a Spurs side who had been in dismal form and sacked their manager shortly after that game. Elsewhere, the 3-5-2 has proven to be less than effective against Atalanta and Manchester City. Now, ahead of the Watford game, Solskjaer has been discussing his choice to switch to a 3-5-2. When doing so, the Norwegian insisted that the formations are not important and it is instead how a side approaches a game and their style of play which is important, before adding that the formation does not matter. You can have the same style of play with different systems or formations, it's the execution on how you approach the game and how we set about that style of play. Sometimes Man United has been with wide wingers, we've had centre forwards up there that have been targets for crosses, sometimes you have targets into feet. The main thing about it is that it's an attacking way of playing football that we give the players a chance to express their talents within the framework that we play in and that we set. If that's 3-5-2, 3-5-3, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, it doesn't really matter. It's the detail and strategy we give for every game. To a certain extent, Solskjaer has a point and the team's mentality is, of course, a key factor in how they perform, as is the style a manager instills in them. However, in the case of Manchester United, Solskjaer's point is pretty invalid as, despite being in a job for nearly 3 years, Oggs is yet to stamp a clear style onto his United side. From the outside, you could argue that United's only somewhat successful style in recent years has been their counter-attacking setup, which has led to some big victories against top sides. But Solskjaer then goes on to claim that he wants Man United teams going on the pitch to try and dominate, which is why he decided to play how he did against Manchester City. I always want to see a Man United team going onto the pitch trying to dominate, and that's what maybe led me to say what I did after the City game. I don't want to see my team hanging in there waiting, we'd rather be on the front foot, and if a team is better than us then sometimes you have to accept that. Whilst comments about being on the front foot and dominating games may win managers' favor with fans, it is apparent to pretty much everyone that this United team cannot do that, especially against big sides. So, instead of ignoring his side's biggest strength and trying to play in this non-existent style he seems to think United have, Solskjaer should be setting his side up to do what they have done best under him, hitting teams on the counter with pace and ferocity. Liverpool vs Arsenal betting tips, preview, predictions, and odds. Watford vs Manchester United betting tips, preview, predictions, and odds.